We've recently done a number of videos showing some of the problems that have developed in Los Angeles in the wake of 2020. Our most recent video showed how the long lockdowns left Hollywood in a state of ruin. In this video, we're taking a look at the Golden Triangle in Beverly Hills. This is 14 months after the initial 2 weeks to slow the spread lockdown. The Golden Triangle is the stomping grounds of the well-to-do or the rich and famous. And while we don't see the tents of the homeless everywhere we look, the area isn't doing all that well under the new normal. It's a frightening thought to see that the most affluent area of LA is still struggling. We've turned onto Crescent Drive. Crescent is 1 block east of Cannon, which is the official boundary of the triangle. And I'm turning here because part of Cannon Drive will be blocked for subway construction. But notice the utter lack of traffic. This is a Friday afternoon in May 2021. Prior to March 2020, Beverly Hills was known for some of the worst traffic congestion in LA. Unlike Hollywood, the area is still beautiful and well kept up. Crescent is largely residential on the east, with shops and businesses on the west. There are a lot of parking lots throughout the triangle where you can park for free for 2 hours while you're shopping, but be sure to read the signs. Rates vary a lot here, and beyond that 2 hours it gets very expensive. The Golden Triangle is shaped by Santa Monica Boulevard on the north, Wilshire Boulevard on the south, and Cannon Drive on the east. On the west, Santa Monica Boulevard and Wilshire Boulevard actually intersect to form the western edge. This is Wilshire Boulevard, the southern boundary of the triangle. They're putting in a new metro line underneath this. The wall to the right with the mural painted on it is to conceal the construction, and it blocks off Cannon Drive at Wilshire while they work on it. And again, notice how empty the street is. I used to dread having to drive Wilshire Boulevard this time of day. All the streets here were bumper-to-bumper gridlock. Though things are opening back up, this is hardly what I would call normal. Up ahead on the left where you see the flags is the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. This is also called the Pretty Woman Hotel because it was used as a location in the film Pretty Woman starring Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. And you can read about that on Totally LA. I'll post a link in the text below. Directly across from the hotel is Rodeo Drive, which is the focal point of the triangle. It's also where Julia and Richard took their famous shopping spree in the movie Pretty Woman. Everything along here is very exclusive. There's a Chanel store, Neiman Marcus, Posh boutiques, and offices. But there are still very few customers. For businesses already struggling to stay afloat after a year of paying staggering overhead while shut down, it's got to be tough. This is where Wilshire Boulevard intersects Santa Monica Boulevard, the western edge of the Golden Triangle. There are 2 Santa Monica Boulevards here. There's North Santa Monica Boulevard and South Santa Monica Boulevard. We came in on this video on North Santa Monica Boulevard, but we're taking South Santa Monica Boulevard to go back in. There's more to see on it. But if you're out here, be careful. If you turn on the wrong one, you might get lost. Though they run parallel for a while, they eventually go completely different places. Santa Monica's South Boulevard is lined with boutiques, restaurants, and offices. Everything here is kept completely manicured and beautiful. But again, notice how deserted the sidewalks that were once clogged with shoppers are now. Right now we're crossing over Rodeo Drive. Apparel News reported a few days ago the business is booming on Rodeo Drive, and the sales are double what they were last year at this time. But they conveniently omitted one key fact. Last year at this time, all of the businesses in the Golden Triangle were completely shut down. And while it's good to look at the positive and things are picking up, I think the article, like most of the mainstream media these days, was misleading. I'm doubling back on Brighton Street. This is the first street south of Santa Monica Boulevard. There's a lot of upscale shops, restaurants, and offices. And you can see where the street has been barricaded off to put in outdoor dining areas for the restaurants during the lockdowns. The red awnings on the left are the Cartier store, and we're turning onto Rodeo Drive here. This is, I believe, the most expensive shopping district in the world. There are stores like Prada, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton. The area is definitely on the upswing, but hardly what it once was. And up on the corner, we're coming to the Beverly Wilshire Hotel again. I did a loop around and we're coming up on Rodeo Drive from the opposite end. The stairs are leading up to an area called 2 Rodeo Drive, which is like an old European courtyard with exclusive stores like Versace in it. The Golden Triangle is probably doing better than any area in Los Angeles. But I can't help but think of Biden's promise to build back better and see that it just isn't happening. With skyrocketing gas prices, soaring housing costs, and the highest overall inflation that we've had in decades, at a time when most people are struggling financially due to long periods of having their businesses shut down or being out of work, the customers just aren't there yet. So we're going down Santa Monica North now and turning onto Beverly Drive. Beverly Drive is unique in that the Golden Triangle extends past Wilshire for a couple of blocks on the map here along just this one street. This part of it is lined with high-end shops and restaurants. But when we cross over Wilshire, it changes to smaller restaurants and smaller boutiques. It's actually a very cool street. This is all a very refreshing change from the boarded up stores and homeless tents I showed you on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But it isn't what it should be yet. The media is trying to say everything is great now, but it just isn't the case yet. We can help by shopping at the small and local stores. The Golden Triangle is filled with unique local boutiques, as well as the very expensive big brands, and you can find some real treasure while helping these people stay on their feet. There are more streets to drive here in the Golden Triangle, but this gives you the main idea. We're concluding our tour of the Golden Triangle, and you can see that things are doing a lot better than they were a year ago, but they still have a long way to go. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. I'll be bringing you some more videos showing you of how other key retail areas are doing soon.